What is up, YouTube friends? Welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you are not new. It's great to have you with me again. I've got another Reddit story for you for us to talk about. This one is about Ozempic. It's called Ozempic Has Changed My Life Forever and for the Worst. So let me get it up on the screen and we will have a little conversation about this because everybody and their mom is on Ozempic lately. I feel like it's constantly pushed everywhere. I've had people tell me to take Ozempic because it's just so great and it's such an easy way out of trying to lose weight. And I won't lie, I have been tempted to take it, but because of my history with medications and doctors, I'm way too scared. So maybe it's saving my life because it sounds like it's causing a lot of problems for people. So here we go. Hi, everyone. I want to share my personal journey with Ozempic in the hope that it helps others who may be suffering in silence or looking for answers. I started taking Ozempic after it was recommended to me without being fully informed of the potential side effects. What followed was a life-altering experience that I never saw coming. Shortly after starting the medication, I began experiencing intense stomach pain, severe bloating, sulfur-like burps, and persistent vomiting, nearly every hour on the hour. What concerned me even more was the complete lack of bowel movements. Despite repeatedly informing my doctor, I was continually reassured that the symptoms would eventually subside. Fast forward 10 months later, I was still in agonizing pain, had lost over 70 pounds, and could barely eat 2 or 3 bites of food without becoming sick. I became isolated, depressed, and bedridden. Eventually, I insisted that something was seriously wrong. My doctor finally ordered a colonoscopy and endoscopy, which revealed undigested food still sitting in my stomach. A follow-up gastric emptying scan where I ate radioactive oatmeal and underwent imaging confirmed the diagnosis, gastroparesis. Okay, here are my questions. Side note. Why would they make you eat radioactive oatmeal to do this scan if you're already having gastrointestinal issues? Can somebody riddle me that? That sounds like they're intentionally making you sick, but maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? I'm not a doctor. Let's continue. What shocked me even more was the way I was told. My provider walked into the room, casually stated the diagnosis, and left without offering any explanation or support. I was left sitting there in confusion, fear, and disbelief. Shortly after, I was dismissed as a patient from that practice entirely without warning. That sounds like they didn't want a lawsuit. Before Ozempic, I was a pretty healthy 43-year-old with no history of gastrointestinal issues. My only medical concern was a back injury from a past car accident. There was no indication of diabetes-related complications prior to taking this drug, yet my provider falsely attributed my gastroparesis to diabetes in my medical records. Ooh, that is a lawsuit. All of this. That's not only misleading, it's unethical. If diabetes had been the cause, wouldn't the symptoms have been present before I started Ozempic? After doing my own research and connecting with others, I realized my story isn't unique. Too many people are experiencing similar side effects and it's devastating. I decided to contact Ava Law Group and start a case against Ozempic. They have treated me with care, professionalism, and respect. Unlike some firms chasing big settlements, they genuinely want to help people whose lives have been forever changed by this medication. I don't understand why more healthcare providers aren't standing up for their patients. Many seem afraid to speak against big pharma. But we, the patients, are the ones suffering and we deserve better. Yeah, this has been a trend the last couple of years. I don't know how long our healthcare system has been this bad, but really it has seriously gone downhill in the last 6 years. If you are considering legal action, I highly recommend Ava Law Group. If not them, please find a reputable lawyer who will fight for you. We need to raise awareness, stand together, and demand accountability from the manufacturers of these medications, Ozempic, Mounjaro, and others that are doing irreversible damage to people's lives. Thank you for taking the time to read my story. I know it was long, but I needed to speak out. To everyone out there who's going through this, stay strong, hold on to hope, and know that you're not alone. Better days are coming. Let's make our voices heard. So there are 144 comments on this post. I just want to start reading some of these because this is a trend. My story is very similar to yours, except mine was from Trulicity Q. Or no, I'm sorry, that's a little hourglass. The doctor tried to gaslight me and make me feel like I was crazy for thinking it was the meds, especially when I was still sick after getting off of them. I was severely overweight. I lost about 40 pounds and was only on it for about 3 to 4 months. Fast forward 2 years later and I'm still having issues. Even tried weight loss surgery, but only gave me temporary relief. I'm big on speaking up for yourself, and if it wasn't for my PCP at the time actually listening to me, I don't know where I would be. Another thing, after I was already off the meds and trying to get a diagnosis, the prescribing doctor for Trulicity wouldn't even order the testing and made me get it through my PCP, prolonging the diagnosis. I don't understand why these people have become doctors if they don't listen to and don't actually care for their patients. I lost a tooth and have had to have extensive dental work from throwing up so much, and it's not getting any better. I'm only 31 and don't want dentures by the time I'm 35, but there's nothing else to be done. I hope you get every penny you're seeking because I'm involved in a mass torts lawsuit and know your pain. I hope things get better for you. Wow. So people are losing their teeth, I guess, from throwing up all the time, which that's what happens. Like the acidity from throwing up really messes up your microbiome in your mouth and you just like start losing your teeth. But these people are so young. That lady was in her 30s. So here's another one. My son took Wegovy. He was a perfectly healthy and fit 40-year-old. Worked out with a trainer, ate healthy, and a social drinker, but not excessive. He went to the ER with severe stomach pain and they removed his gallbladder. 10 days later, he was rolling on the floor screaming in pain. He was diagnosed with severe pancreatitis. His kidneys failed along with liver damage and on oxygen as his lungs were impacted as well. He was on dialysis 24/7 and he had necrotizing pancreas. I don't know what that is. The doctor said that he lived through it because he was still young and strong. He only has 15% of his pancreas left and is on a very strict diet and no alcohol ever again. He was off work for 6 months and still experienced periodic pain. This happened October 2024. I caution everyone who's taking one of these drugs about the potential side effects. I appreciate you sharing your story as well as a law firm that assisted you. My son's life has been forever changed thanks to this drug. Wow. So it's causing like long-term damage to people. Um, let's see. I am living the Ozempic nightmare. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 15 years ago. Never ever had any stomach problems until I started Ozempic. Same problems you are having. I had the colonoscopy and endoscopy, and everything was fine with that. Took the gastric emptying test, and the diagnosis was gastroparesis. My doc's PA was so sweet and understanding and wonderful about everything. I take Zofran for the nausea, but the diarrhea is horrible. Sorry for vulgarity of some of this, but these are real side effects people are experiencing. This drug is a crapshoot, no pun intended. Works for some, a nightmare for others. Wow. And it's so crazy. Like, people everywhere are taking Ozempic. I was waitressing for a long time and I quit in this past year, but I remember vividly I had a table one night. It was like four adults came in and they were all talking about how they were on Ozempic cuz you see this with people. I don't know why it like becomes their entire personality. And they would literally take like 2-3 bites of their food and then they were like, "We just want a box, we're on Ozempic. We can't really eat that much. We're losing so much weight." And I was just sitting there thinking, like, something bad's gonna like, this is not normal. It's not normal to like take 2 bites of food and be completely full and like not want to eat for the whole day after that. You know what I mean? I also heard somewhere that this Ozempic, I don't know about the other ones like Wegovy, any of that, but I know Ozempic is apparently derived from this lizard in the desert that eats like twice a year. And so basically what it does is it slows down your digestive system so much that you're just not hungry anymore and you don't want to eat. So you're in like a forced starvation mode, which obviously is not very good for you. I mean, gastroparesis, don't you like, I'm pretty sure you have to have surgery to like have some of your colon removed if it gets bad enough. Oh man. Oh yes, this person. This isn't an issue of big pharma. The medication works by slowing digestion. It causes gastroparesis, which causes the weight loss. That makes sense. The issue is that they're now realizing it isn't always reversible once the medication is stopped. Oh man. This isn't your fault at all. Yes, nausea, indigestion, and vomiting are all disclosed as potential side effects. The issue is nobody is telling patients the cause, which is slowed gastric emptying. My issue is with the doctors who don't pull back on the meds once they realize a patient is having significant side effects. Yeah, honestly, like that is very shady. Like that lady in the beginning, that first lady the comment that we read, and she was saying that her doctor just like ignored her and didn't do anything until like 10 months later she lost 70 pounds. She was like, "Look, I'm still in pain every day. I'm still throwing up." And they finally did the scan and figured out what was going on, but it's crazy. Um Oh, geez. This thread is something I really needed to see. I have cried in pain and vomited completely undigested food from 9 hours prior, and my doctor didn't even take me seriously. As soon as I said I had a history of IBS, he wrote me off and sent me on my way. I will admit my gut has never been normal, but I'm convinced that after Saxenda, I don't know how to pronounce that, my condition has become unmanageable. Almost positive it is gastroparesis, but I can't even get the doctor to test for it. Doctors really don't seem to care what they prescribe. It's so sad, they really don't. I took I took Accutane when I was in my early 20s, and I kid, it literally almost destroyed my life. And I've talked to other people who took it, and it caused really severe depression, and I don't know if I can say the word suicidal ideation, like really, really bad. And I kind of went into like a temporary psychosis from it, and it gave me horrible stomach problems that I still kind of struggle with to this day. Like, medications are no joke. Always read the black box warning, always ask questions, read the inserts, look up other people's experiences with it. Like, really weigh your options and do your absolute best to get informed consent and fully understand what you're about to be taking into your body, because doctors are not going to do that for you. Nobody's going to do that for you or advocate for you except for you. And it's very important that you do that in today's healthcare system. Um, Wow. I also have had my life ruined by the medication. I can feel myself rotting from the inside out. It has affected every area of my life. I actually felt it happen when I took the first dose of increased medication. It all sounds dramatic, but it has been devastating to me. Wow. I want to see if there's any more comments. There's a lot of people just saying, I'm sorry. Oh, this lady has a name. Okay. Lisa Marie Presley died from Ozempic. News won't tell you that. Dr. Terry Berg said although she did have weight loss surgery several years ago with some individuals over the years, they gained the weight back. He said her autopsy shows her intestines were literally rotted. So that makes me wonder if it's not just delaying stomach emptying, but paralyzing the GI tract. And this is what I believe happens over time. Motility and peristalsis just ceases to exist, which you need, like, to keep everything alive, right? And like blood flow and everything, you need movement. It's like when if you sit down for too long, you get like fluid buildup in your body. I wonder, like, that can't be good for you. This person might be onto something. For all the people shaming people for not being aware of the side effects, delayed stomach emptying is not the same as what's really happening, is decreased peristalsis of the GI tract. And they are downplaying this, in my opinion. The medication is made from venom from the Gila monster wizard. Yeah, lizard, not wizard, which states if bitten, it can cause your skin to necrose. Oh man, so you're taking that in your body. I get that people want so desperately to lose weight. People don't want to believe this could happen to them, but blaming people who are going through this is wrong. Yeah, we just live in this really weird world, especially here in America, where our food supply has so much junk in it that it's literally addictive to people. I am not, and listen, I know this because I'm addicted to some food. Like, there are times where I find myself really craving something, and I'm like, why am I feeling violent about this craving I'm having? And it's like, it's because of what's in the food. Like, for example, if I eat Chick-fil-A one day, I crave it for the next week because of whatever chemicals are in it. It makes it so addictive that it's all I can think about. So I try to stay away from that kind of stuff because I just know it's doing something to my brain, and it's so hard to break it, and people are just like desperate to break food addiction, and it's so hard. I mean, I really feel for people, and I get it, I get why you would just take it, It's there's all these commercials of everybody dancing and laughing, and they make it seem like the best thing ever, and you're just going to lose all this weight, and people just do it cuz it seems worth it. Just like when I took Accutane, I just wanted clear skin. I didn't care what it did to me. I didn't care that it caused me to almost take my life. I just took it cuz I wanted clear skin. Like, it's weird the way humans are, with wanting to just look good and feel good. I mean, it sucks. But anyway, this was a very interesting conversation. Let me know your guys' thoughts below, what your thoughts are. If you do take Ozempic and you're having a good experience with it, I'd love to hear. And if you've taken it and you've had a bad experience, I'd also like to hear. Just curious, like how many people are having serious problems with it, because a lot of people I talk to just seem to be doing great. So anyway, yeah, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to grow over here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.